This is a short video explanation of the assignment for the textbook, Chapter 30, and we're going to go through a couple of things. Please go through and read the chapter and do the questions. We have 55 questions, 4 pages worth, going through Chapter 30. Chapter 30 talks about World War I and the United States entrance into World War I. It does focus kind of primarily on the domestic side of World War I. There's so much information for World War I. We'll probably spend some more time in class going over more of World War I from the international perspective, looking at some of the battles, looking at new weapons. But in this assignment, kind of focuses on a lot of the domestic policies initiated by Woodrow Wilson and reasons that the United States got into the war. Just a reminder that all of the images within this presentation are in the public domain. Please don't hesitate to email or give a call if you have any questions. Thank you. So just a reminder, there are lots of reasons why the United States got into the war. The United States initially, especially under the leadership of Woodrow Wilson, we were not interested in getting into this war. We tried to do everything possible to stay out of this war. This war started in June of 1914. The United States did not enter until 1917 into Woodrow Wilson's second full term. We've had lots of incidents, international incidents, a lot of incidents on the sea. Various boats have been sunk, beginning with the Lusitania, but we have the Arabic and the Sussex, various pledges, various steps getting us closer and closer to war. Chapter 30 does start with a Zimmerman, interception of a Zimmerman note, and I wanted to take a look at this. This is the actual coded message that was intercepted by the British. So just a bunch of numbers, and then the British cryptologists decoded this and sent the decoded message to the United States. And so, according to this decoded message, the British are very interested in making war. We intend, the Germans are very interested in making war. We are the Germans. We intend to begin on the 1st of February this unrestricted submarine warfare. We shall endeavor, in spite of this, we will try to keep the United States neutral, but if this is not successful, we, the Germans, make Mexico a proposal of alliance, that the Germans and the Mexicans will make war together and make peace together. Generous financial support and an understanding on the Germans' part that Mexico is to reconquer Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona. Now the settlement of this detail is left to you, and hopefully, basically, this proposed treaty that the Germans are making with Mexico, the United States is to stay busy in the South, fighting for Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona against Mexico. Then they go on to say that it is up to the Mexicans, of course, to invite Japan to some sort of an agreement. But this decoded message in the newspapers of the United States gives Woodrow Wilson kind of no choice. We have to go to war. Now, number 6, the 5, there are, of course, 14 points. There are 14 points, and I would like you to write down 5 of them. These can be found, let me get this out of here. These 14 points can be found on page 680, top of this page. Of course, don't need to write all of them, but if you look here, some of the more important ones eventually are adhered to, but these kind of all 14 go right in here, and that kind of is the first page. We'll move on to the second page. As you go through this chapter 30, I also wanted you to take into consideration this war of propaganda. George Creel and his efforts to put the war in the hearts and minds of every American. Posters in grocery stores and post offices and libraries, posters exaggerating the effects of war. We also then have the kind of other large aspect of this time period, and that's the women's efforts to gain the right to vote, women's suffrage movement, and Alice Paul, her effort to call the attention of the president to women's suffrage. If you ever have a chance to watch the movie Iron-Jawed Angels, or read the book Iron-Jawed Angels, it's about women's suffrage during World War I, the way in which Alice Paul was put under an immense amount of pressure because of her protesting a wartime president and a wartime administration. So that's Iron-Jawed Angels. It's an HBO production. So go ahead and continue to read through the chapter. Again, we don't have enough time in this short video presentation to go over every aspect of this worksheet, or every aspect of World War I, obviously. But please go ahead and read. Everything is in chronological order, and I'm sure you'll find all the answers without any trouble. As you are doing this worksheet, I'd encourage you to take a look more specifically at Alvin York. I believe this image is a link to some information about him and his heroics during World War I. So at the end of the war, the Big Four meet, and there's a picture of the Big Four. The Big Four meet and eventually discuss their treaty. The treaty is called the Treaty of Versailles because it was signed in Paris, and we have Woodrow Wilson's participation, and Woodrow Wilson's League of Nations suggestion is the only of his 14 points that gains any progress. And so read through, of course, all 55 questions, answer all 55 questions, and hopefully you'll be prepared to discuss Woodrow Wilson's League of Nations covered at the end of Chapter 30. That concludes this short video explanation of Chapter 30 assignments. Thank you.